Hello, this is your hot girl guide. If you're a hot girl this summer, let me tell you how this summer has been from a very sad emo girl to a now turning into a hot girl who's apparently wearing corsets and bodycons. If you're new to my podcast, then you're listening to Something Somewhere with Srishti. Welcome to my podcast. All my life, I have dealt with insecurity on many layers. As someone who still has a lot of body image issues, or self respect issues, or trust issues, or daddy issues, insecurity has literally been my shadow slash another limb for me, and it's something that I'm still trying to deal with and let go of. A surprisingly pleasant turn of events, as a nice way to put it. It definitely started with me hitting the gym, lifting some weights, gains. I don't know if you can see my gains in the podcast if you're listening to it, but definitely there are gains, and for that you need to follow me. But anywho, I think more than anything, it has just been a mindset shift where I started liking myself more and I started feeling more comfortable with my body and how I come off as to other people. It might sound very preachy again, but I think learning to accept my cringe has been like freedom for me. I've just accepted the fact that I'm cringe online and offline, and that's all you need to be a hot girl at the end of the day. I know every hot girl has some phases. I had my loser phase, I had my simp phase, and now I'm going through some phase where I like to assume that I'm getting hotter in my brain. But today I'm going to tell you what actually helped me. So it's a little guide slash note thing that I've mentally prepared for everyone, and I just really hope it can help people through, because it did help me through, and all of this is tried and tested. Number one, gratitude is your girl. And I know this is something that you probably see on every WhatsApp good morning message: be grateful, worship God, of course, do all of that. But actually, being grateful has been a life changing game for me. I was someone who only invested in journals because they looked cute and they were adding a nice pop of color to my bookshelf. But now I actually open my journals and I write into them. So I've recently started journaling, and I first did that in my notepad when it wasn't a journal thing, but it was more like a manifestation. And I don't know if you know manifestations or how they work, but you usually have to think, feel, or write something like you're living it right now, like it's your truth at the current moment. So on December 31st 2022, I wrote sort of a letter to myself that by 2023, December 2023, I'm going to be living in my own house in Bombay that I can afford. I'm going to be making my own podcast. I wanted to do bigger brands, bigger stuff, and touch wood, wherever wood is, I'm doing all of that stuff right now, and I'm quite happy. So it genuinely started off as a manifestation, but today, whenever I feel stuck in life, or whenever I feel like, okay, but I'm not locking this, I'm not doing that, I'm not on a billboard, I'm not standing next to Shah Rukh Khan, or I'm not meeting Abhidol once again, I just circle back and I just actually live in the moment, and I'm trying to breathe down. And I'd always try to remind myself, but okay, you already have so much, you're already doing so much, and not just in terms of content or work, but I'm really grateful that I have a very strong support system, whether it's friendships, sometimes situationships, family, of course. But being grateful has helped me a lot. I think a lot of my philosophy has come from Kung Fu Panda. And I remember this one dialogue from Master Oogway when he said, "Tomorrow is a mystery. Yesterday was a history, but today is a gift. That's why it's called present." Writing a letter to my past version, it has been very helpful, because I realized the reason why I did not like myself was because I have hated myself for a long time. And I've hated myself over petty things. Even if I'm mispronouncing a word in class, I still remember my entire class made fun of me because I mispronounced a very casual everyday word, and I felt quite bad about it. So I think the reason why I got triggered on so many things so easily is because I've hated myself for doing a lot of mistakes, whether it was disappointing some friends, family, though I disappoint every day, and I think now they've made their peace with it. But for the longest time, I've always been that scholar Naina, where I want to overachieve, where I want to do things like 10 different things at one point. And I think I was wired that way, again TMI, because as a child, if I would not score amazing or if I would not do something extraordinary, my parents would not tell me, oh, I'm proud of you. And I'm pretty sure that's the parent situation at every desi household, where your parents expect a lot from you. So, as an adult, when I started doing things that were just regular and normal, my parents never told me they're proud of me. So, I thought that I have to overachieve, I have to do extra stuff to make my parents say that, oh, we're so proud of you. But of course, it took a lot of unlearning, reconditioning, and a lot of therapy, and a lot of cool YouTube videos also to unlearn all of these patterns and actually break through these patterns. One day, I just decided to play Kun Faya Kun, and I was crying for 12 minutes straight because I was playing it on loop. And I decided to write a letter to my past version. I think I'm quite embarrassed of my 12-year-old self, my 18-year-old self, even my 19-year-old self. So all these versions I wrote a letter to, and I told them, whoever you were, you did your shit. You had to go through some shit in life to learn that you are the shit. But I'm quite happy that I actually wrote a letter, like a bye-bye letter to these versions of me. And I think I accepted my truth and I made peace with the fact that I was cringe, I was shitty, I was disappointing, but that's who you're supposed to be. At 12 or at 19, nobody's supposed to have their shit figured out, right? And if you have your shit figured out, then how can you be the main character of your life? Honestly, everyone has to go through some plot twist or some wrong decision making event that leads you to your hot girl era. Feed your ego sometimes. It's genuinely very cool. And I know this is something that not a lot of people would recommend because it sounds very narcissistic, but it's cool. I think I've made peace with the fact that I'm self-obsessed and delusional. But I think I learning to do a lot of things that I'm exceptionally good at. By the way, there are things I'm quite good at, okay? I think it's making me very happy. And I don't mean that you're supposed to do things like, oh, let's watch a cool movie or let's watch some cool stuff on the internet. Here, I mean that you're doing something that actually requires you to move your body and create something out of your mind. And it can be anything random, okay? Honestly, for me, it sometimes is whenever I'm feeling really low, I just open my phone, I open my gallery, I go through pictures of sunsets, my face, my family, random lights or sky pictures. I collect them, I make videos, and I actually make a beautiful edit on a cinematic song, and I obsess over it for so long, even though it's something irrelevant, petty, which won't make sense. But trust me, on the internet, you can post anything and get away with it. That's what I do whenever I have to romanticize life and whenever I feel like I don't have anything exceptional. I sometimes paint. I think art is subjective, so I would like to call myself an artist. But romanticizing life, painting, doodling, making videos. Okay, this is where the irony comes. If I tell you I'm amazing at making videos, sometimes I am. I love doing my makeup also. I love experiment with shit. So literally feed your ego. Do things that makes you feel you're the Kareena Kapoor of your life. Last point. And I know I will sound like a motivational speaker with this. But honestly, in life, sometimes you just have to do things. I know we can manifest, I know we can believe, I know we can be delusional, but you also have to work towards it. I can coddle you, I can even coddle myself that things are just going to happen in my life, and they will, as long as you work towards it. For the longest time, I had a very love-hate relationship with my body. I still don't like my arms a lot, like every second girl I know. We all have a problem with our jiggly arms. But I think at this point, I've made peace with it, you know. I decided that, okay, if there's something about my body that I don't like or I don't clap for out loudly, then I should just simply do something about it. So I've cut out a lot of junk food. I'm trying to limit my desserts. But yeah, I actually did something about it. I wasn't very confident about my content in the middle, so I decided to strategize again. I decided to watch a lot of cool stuff that brought a refreshing perspective to my content, and I started writing more. I started visualizing more. I started taking a different approach towards content, and of course that's just related to me. But whatever it is that you're not completely confident about, maybe try it in a different way. Don't be scared of failing. I mean, that's how I started doing this podcast. This is one of the first few days that we're shooting, and even though I'm extremely scared and I was shivering before starting the whole thing, but I think you just have to take risks in life, as iconic legends said, "Dar ke aage jeet hai." Sometimes you just have to take risks in life to be a hot girl. Life is meant to be lived. Anyway, I really hope that you can take something away from this and become a member of the Hot Girl Summer Club. Even if you're a guy, it's never too late to be a hot girl summer. But anywho, if you liked it, please go follow me on whichever audio platform you're listening to. I hope you have subscribed to this YouTube channel. If you haven't, please do. And also give me a follow button on Instagram because you can actually see a lot of hot girl shit there. Okay, bye.